13 straight wins for the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. Scott Perry joins us on the Farm Bureau guest line right now. He's the head coach of the Golden Eagles. Coach, they say play your best baseball at the end of the year. Feels like the right time of the year to be playing your best baseball, and you guys really good this weekend. That was a good series win on the road. Congratulations. How did you feel about it?
Well, obviously really, really good, Richard. And, Monroe hasn't had the year that they wanted, obviously. So, a little worried going into that series, not getting caught up, your guys getting caught up, and all the hype that, what I'd heard prior was, should go in there and sweep. And, everybody that does this for a living understands how hard it is to win 3 games, and especially on the road. So it's kind of a trap, I guess I should say, and in that regard. But I felt like our guys were real mature and handled it like a seasoned team and did exactly what they were supposed to do when you compare the numbers, go in there and win 3 games, and that's what we were able to do.
So in game 1, it was kind of later when you got the offense going. You put up the 4th spot in the top of the 6th inning. You add 3 runs in the top of the 8th to give yourself a little bit of breathing room and kind of withstand that little mini rally where they got a run in the 8th and the 9th. And Tanner Hall allowed you to do that with another really good pitching performance.
Yeah, he did. It's so good to be able to write his name on that lineup on Friday night, because you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a guy that's got a lot of pitchability. He's very competitive. A guy that models what the team wants is to go out there and lead the way, and certainly he's our bell cow on that staff and what we want. And covered his 7 innings and kept our bullpen fresh for the next 2 games. And you're right. I mean, the offense, it took a little bit. We utilized in the 6th inning. We capitalized on a walk and hit by pitch. Had a big 2-out hit RBI, 2 RBI base hit by Carson Pato, and then utilized a couple of walks there to drive in some more runs with the bases loaded for those 4. But Judice was a guy that they threw that was only his 2nd start. He's been a reliever. He's had 19 appearances, and of those, only 1 was as a starter. So a really good arm, and kind of gave us some fits there early, but we were able to really have some competitive at-bats and get it in a situation where we could get a hit and then obviously build a little bit from there.
May have taken you a little while to get the offense going on Friday night. That was not the case on Saturday. You look up after 3 innings on Saturday, and you put 12 on the board. There are 2 guys that really stand out to me offensively. Edsel at the top of the order, sets the table. He goes 4 for 4, drives in 6, scores 4 runs in the game. That's a huge night from your leadoff hitter. And then Sargent, a couple of home runs in the game. He's at double digits for the year. Were those the 2 guys that were most important, or would you just say just kind of balance 1 through 9?
We had a really good balance 1 through 9. Of course, 19 runs on 18 hits, and we had 5 multi-run home runs, 3 of those being 3-run homers. And, of course, when you have Billy Odom, that was our starter there, and went 5 innings, and after the 1st inning through 13 pitches, we had to set for an hour and a half through 3 lightning delays. Oh. And there was kind of a decision maybe not to go back out there with him after an hour and a half. But the 13 pitches, and he convinced us that he'd been staying loose inside the locker room, throwing a ball against the wall. And, we rolled with it. And I tell you what, he picked up right where he left off there in the 2nd inning and covered the next 4. And then we went to the bullpen and just kind of went an inning apiece. The game was kind of out of hand at that time. But, offensively, our guys showed up in a big way and put up some big numbers and some crooked number innings, which was really hard for Monroe to recover from.
Visiting with Scott Berry, head baseball coach at Southern Miss. You never want injuries to happen, right? You would prefer not to deal with those. But the reality of baseball is you're going to have some guys that get banged up and miss some time along the way. You had Matt Adams miss some time in the middle of the season. It forced some other guys to step up, and now you've kind of gotten him back, and he's settled into that Sunday role. Pitches well yesterday. Do you see that now that you've kind of weathered the storm as a positive in being able to kind of find some other guys either as starters or out of the pen that you can rely on, and now getting Matt back and kind of in the form that he was in at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, Matt, he went down that Easter weekend at Old Dominion on that Saturday, that first game on Saturday, and missed his next 3 starts. and now he's been able to come back from that. And Sunday was his third start after the rehab, and has really gotten stronger each time, Richard. I mean, he pitched really good yesterday. Gave up a couple runs. One of the runs, the first run we gave up, probably shouldn't have happened. Had a little letdown defensively. Wasn't an error, but just mental letdown. Let a guy get on base. Of course, the two-out situation found the hole to get the guy in. Then he gave up a solo homer after that. But I thought he pitched really well. And with him coming back, that's pushed Nico Mazza into the bullpen, and he served time there in long relief. And well, I mean, he hasn't disappointed and didn't disappoint yesterday. Went 3 innings, only gave up 2 hits and no runs. And before we handed off to Justin Storm, who struck out the side there in the ninth, and pitching really performed well. Offensively, obviously, it was hard to duplicate what we did on Saturday and the number of hits and runs. I thought that Monroe had a sense of urgency, even though they've been eliminated from any kind of tournament play. It's probably what made them really dangerous and play loose, in the fact that they really had nothing to lose, and they played us really well. But at the end of the game, we were able to grind out some innings and get some runs in there and get a 6-2 win for that sweep.
I've always heard people say, Scott, that this time of year, especially if you're playing good baseball, is about the coolest experience there is for a college baseball player. You're done with classes. Your focus is solely on baseball. You got finals in the rearview mirror, final week of the regular season, conference tournament, NCAA regional play after that. Do you get that sense from your guys now that they've got the weight of the school year lifted off of them, and it can just be baseball for the next few weeks, almost like they're kind of back in high school in the summer?
Yeah, and I equate it to pro ball, honestly, where you're getting paid to play and you're not having to go to class. I know there's probably some minor league guys that are still taking online classes, but at that point, when you make that career jump, and unfortunately not everybody gets to do that. There's a small minority that do, but all of us right now with finals being done, I mean, it's like you're playing professional baseball. I mean, that's your job, to go out and play and have fun. And that's what I really try to emphasize with these guys. There is no studying. There is no class. It's all baseball, man. And if you ever want to play pro baseball, I mean, this is what it's like. And had that conversation with a scout this morning, and in this very thing that we're talking about. So, yeah, it's a great time of year. Finals are over, and it's just get ready to play. And that's what we do. And we have a tough one coming in this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in this last conference and regular season series against Lafayette, who's playing really, really good. They've swept their last 2 conference series, and on paper they're very athletic. They're going to run. They have 153 stolen bases and 203 attempts.
Wow.
117 doubles. I mean, everybody, even the managers, have the green light if they get on base. I mean, it's they are running, and but I think that's a seed that they want to plant in your mind, that everybody does have the green light. So that kind of takes your pitcher's focus off from that hitter, and what happens then. You leave a mistake, and here we go. So, the key this weekend is going to be, not giving the freebies and the walks, the hit batters, not being able to steal first, and just keeping them off the base paths and playing good baseball and limiting them to 27 outs each game.
Yeah, Scott, I think back to Conference USA when it was really rolling from a baseball standpoint. Just think about all of those series where the stakes were so high between you guys and Rice. And when the move was announced to the Sun Belt, and it took us a while to get there. I kind of looked at this. I was like, okay, this may be the next layer of that. The Raging Cajuns and the Golden Eagles. I know Coastal Carolina, really good program, and other good programs in the league. Did you have that thought ever that this could be rolling into what turns into a really good rivalry?
Oh, I think so. I mean, regionally and just travel, and both fan bases will be able to make those trips. Where in Conference USA, it was hard for people to make that trip to Rice. There were a few, mostly parents, but your avid fan that's out there right now, they'll love to go to Lafayette, and Lafayette people will be willing to come here. So, and the same thing with South Alabama and Troy. So, I think in that regards, the Sun Belt has been an awesome move for us. But you're right. I mean, Conference USA, I think back in 21, where there were 4 of our teams in the top 25. One team hosted a regional. 2 should have hosted. Old Dominion should have hosted. They went to South Carolina as a number 1 seed there because they didn't put in for a bid. So, Conference USA baseball on any given year was really, really good. But, I like this Sun Belt. I mean, there's parity there, and it's just like any other league. I mean, it changes from week to week.
I know the Pete's going to be rocking this weekend, final weekend of the regular season. Coach, thanks so much for your time, and we'll be watching and listening this weekend.
Always a pleasure, Richard. Thank you.